It is time. Yep. Good evening, all. Hey, our guest is in the house. Drum roll. Welcome, sir. Just taking our intro. Subscribe to the African Coaching and Mentorship Initiative YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. How has been your day, sir? Mm-hmm. Yes. Remember, so many people are landlords. Not a tenant of the mortuary. Many more are candidates of obituary. You're welcome, AY Kucho, all the way from America. Good evening, Tony Cole 96. Welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome to the Mentor Show. Olanike Tumishi, welcome to the Mentor Show. Tell us where you are joining us from. Yeah. Ward Aliyah 98, welcome to the Mentor Show. Yes. Watching from New York City. Welcome, AY Kuchu. Olanike from Scotland. Welcome. Thank you. So the key point we hear from our guest, this is the Mentor Show. I'm your host, Dr. Olushola Ajide, welcoming you to the Mentor Show. On this show, we inspire you. On this show, we help reinvent yourself, help you to reinvent yourself, help you to innovate yourself. On this show, we help you to make impact. All we are saying is that you are born for impact, so you can make impact in your community, you can make impact in your country, and you can make impact on your continent. And you know how we do it on this show, we bring guests who are themselves impact people. We bring guests who are making impact in their community, who are making impact in their nation, who are making impact on their continent. And tonight is no exception. Our guest tonight already is in the house. Our guest, AY Diraima, is already in the house, so I'll bring him on now. AY Drama, can you send me an invite? Olani Ketumishe is in Aberdeen. Yay. Yeah, Aberdeen, Scotland. Yeah. AY, send me an invite. It's I don't know why I'm not able to bring you in from my end. So tonight is going to be phenomenal, as usual. By the grace of God, we are going to have a wonderful time of learning, a wonderful time of being inspired. So AY Duraima, send me an invite. I don't know why I'm not able to. Okay, great. Finally, I'm able to now. Great, excellent. Excellent. Hey, we have him in the house. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's a privilege having you on our show. Wow. It is a privilege having you on our show. We thank you very much. We know you are a very busy person. We know you are very, very busy. And creative people are always very busy. Because, wow, Sako is in the house. Sako, welcome. Oh, how are you doing? Creative people like Sako, like yourself, are always very busy people, always having something doing, something cooking. The brain is calculating, the brain is calibrating, the brain is thinking about how do you join it together. Even when you are talking to them, you see, they're just calculating in the end, isn't it? Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, man.
Welcome, welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mentor Show, and where we inspire you is a Mentor Show where we help you reinvent yourself, as it were. It's on the Mentor Show where we help you make impact, and we bring guests on this show who are making impact in their community, who are making impact in their country, and who are making impact on their continent. And very much so, tonight we have one of those people making impact on the continent of the earth. Mr. A.Y. Diraima. It's often great. Now, he's popularly known, his name is Ayo Adebayo, but known as A.Y. Diraima. He's an outstanding indigenous poet, an eloquent rhymer. You will see from the announcement that I'll go and watch, you just not wow. It's just wow. An outstanding indigenous gospel poet, an eloquent rhymer that is celebrated worldwide, an on-air personality with Love FM 104.5 Abuja, and is a publisher of Conference Nigeria magazine and the founder of Career Connect and Reformation Initiative, a non-governmental organization. He is committed to raising talents and reconciling their creativities with the realities of their careers. Interesting. So it's a bridging their creativity with their careers. He has been privileged to feature on several platforms, both home and abroad, including the biggest gospel platform in Africa, The Experience, Lagos The Experience, which is a wonderful, great thing. So tonight, an award-winning person is with us tonight, and we're going to learn great things. So welcome, sir, Mr. A.Y. Diraima.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. So how has been your day, sir?
Much. Well, we thank God. Just like you said, we've been working, somebody said no matter the level you've attained in life, there's always a place called forward.
Yeah.
So we are still pushing, trusting God to make more impact. And especially this season, Christmas period like this, lot of programs and activities. And we thank God, that's wonderful.
Yeah. A lot of programs. Yeah. Interesting. So now, what people know, what we all know you for, is A.Y. Diraima. Even though I've given a small intro about you, let's know you. Who is A.Y. Diraima?
Okay, thank you so much one more time for having me, Dr. Lushola. Not taking it for granted. It's a privilege to encourage somebody out there and trusting God that tonight one or two persons will be inspired. My real name is Ayo Adebayo. And my stage name, I discovered myself early enough. I was born into an Anglican family. There's a department called Sunday School, children department. In those days, the day of John 3:16, recitation. When we are doing children at best and the rest. I started right from childhood, days of recitation. But then I discovered that maybe let's say I've missed of 20 children or 10 children to give recitation, while other children are giving like 2 verses. I could go do the whole chapter, do 10 verses, and people normally respond to my own recitation in a very different way. So I discovered then that there was something about me to recite poem, memory verses, and the rest. And so I grew up, and as I was doing it, it was getting better. Then God gave me the inspiration to start writing my own lines, my own verses, my own lines. And whenever I'm privileged to climb stage, even as a child, then I bless these people. After the service, so we give you money that you bless me today. And it's a ministry God has called me to, and today the skill is paying the bill by the grace of God.
The
This is what
skill
we are doing as a
is
ministry.
paying the bill.
The skill is paying
The skill is paying the bill. Now that is a quote that ladies and gentlemen, don't forget. The skill is paying the bill. And the reason why I said don't forget that is that for anybody I want to make impact, and for anybody I want to pivot, go to the next level, oftentimes, even though money is not the final thing of anything, but is needed for you to enjoy life. And the point is making the skill which he discovered as a young person right from a very tender age is paying the bill. So perhaps if it's hard to pay the bills, there might be a need for you to discover a skill that will help you to pay the bills. So if that skill, if you're offering value to people, the value you give to people is actually what gives the money, isn't it? Is the value you bring to people. Because money itself actually is an exchange of value. Money itself is just paper. It's the value that somebody receives from you that a person will be able to say, okay, now in exchange of value, I give you this piece of cash or dole of cash, which our guest is telling us is paying the bills. Thank you very much for that. Baramosi, welcome, sir. Uka Timothy, welcome. Welcome. It's the Mentors Show. We have our guest, A.Y. Diraima, on the set tonight. And he's just giving us a nugget. The skill is paying the bill. Now, it's very interesting that you mentioned that while growing up, you remember that in the Sunday school, you just found that you are able to remember more than other children. So, could it be, is it that maybe in the family, there's a pastor, there's a bishop in your family, or is it genetic? Or is anybody in the family who is a teacher, or how?
Not really. God gave every man, when I mean every man, every individual, there is something unique about us. It may not necessarily maybe it's a trace from the family. There's something unique about an individual. So it's just a uniqueness I found out early enough by the grace of God. I thank God for my parents actually as in nurturing me in the way of the Lord. But my father was never a pastor. Though he's still alive, he's not a pastor. And I don't think any of my senior ones doing that. But it's just a uniqueness I discovered early enough. Everybody can do recitation. Like I said, children department, but it's just a uniqueness I discovered. And not as if I checked it from any member of the family. But it's just God's given ability. And the calling of God, your gift has to do with the calling of the Lord. Then I never knew this would take me this far. I never knew that God will use the same ability to do recitation, which is now spoken word. I never knew God will use it to affect so many lives. In my first album, somebody gave a testimony listening to one of my songs. And I said, is it chronic? I've forgotten the sickness. 2 years ago, about 6 years ago, my first album. And he was sharing testimony, crying. How a doctor has given up on him, and he was listening to my track, my song that God gave to me, and God is healing. So I never knew that this could happen. So it's a ministry. That's why I discovered that I'm not just doing it as an entertainment. I see what I do as a ministry, though it's part of entertainment. But necessarily, I see it as a ministry to heal the people, to inspire the people, to motivate the people, and I thank God for what God is doing today.
Interesting. And it's quite gratifying that when you are able to somehow, what seemingly comes very easy for you, you don't even count it as anything. And when people, I don't want to speak Yoruba on what you can say in a way in which other people are magnifying, you are thinking, what is it? It just become normal, isn't it? For you, it just become normal, and you are able to do that. And somebody often said that even for you to discover your purpose in life is that thing that you do without much effort. It just comes naturally. It just flows from you. If they wake you up, there's a place of preparation. There's a place for preparation, but sometimes it just flows. It just flows. It just flows, and it blesses lives. Wow, interesting. Now okay. Now, if the question I would have asked, you have answered it, which is what I normally ask every guest, of taking us to when Ayo was 10 years old. You have told us your time in Sunday school, so it means pretty much you remember that time and that period very well of being in Sunday school and all the experiences which you had. Now, when it comes to the word, the spoken word or the word itself, how do you interpret the word? How do you retain the word? Which will lead me, I'm going to ask the next question, but how do you, what is your relationship with word? Word.
Okay, thank God. I don't want to go too deep. You know, God is the word. He said, the Bible said the beginning was the word and the word was his God.
Yeah.
And God was the word. And I believe whatever anybody wants to become in life, or whatever gift anybody has, be it secular artist, or give me to say, be it Michael Jackson, be it Tupac, is from God. It's God. Yes, some may not use it to glorify God. Some may not use it to glorify God. But I believe every gift comes from God. So the question you ask, the ability to play with words, the ability to digest words, is still a gift from God. And you said it earlier on that your calling, your potential is that thing that you can do with ease without much stress. I can't really explain how inspiration comes sometimes. That is the gospel truth. I can't explain. I may just be talking with somebody from his own statement. Inspiration drops. So it's God. It's just the good news that I discover my purpose. I dwell in it. That's why I do what I do effortlessly. Because I discovered that purpose. When I was going, I almost got distracted along the way. That's the truth. Because in this part of the country, this part of the world, Nigeria, spoken word is not really celebrated. It's just speaking gradually. When I was growing up, like I told you, I had some friends, some of my very good friends, who diverted into comedy. And when they started paying them 100,000, paying them 50,000, myself, I was still doing it, God bless you. You know, church people. I was still doing it, God bless you. One day, we're collecting honorarium of 50,000.
Somebody told you, sorry for cutting, just to make you, somebody who came on this show, Emmanuel Smith said that they'll give you a takeaway pack.
So I almost debated, but God told me to dwell in my remain in your calling. Remain in your calling. I'm not mocking some of those guys, but some of those guys then, you know, that was as if they were ahead of me. But today, some of the platform that God's grace has taken me to, and just like I mentioned, experience is the big, as far as gospel platform is concerned in Africa.
Yeah.
Experience is the biggest, and I've been privileged to be there 4 good times, effortlessly. So some of them lobbying for it, they couldn't get there. And you know, it's just grace. But when my time comes, because I remain, I stayed in my calling. And so the thing flowed naturally. It's just grace. It's grace of God I discovered, and thank God for it.
Interesting. In your remaining in your calling. Interesting. Now, it's when it comes to the issue of success or achievement or the progress you are making now, and I think you have underscored it, that ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us tonight, Dotman Doxy, Joben Rock. Joben, how are you tonight? Welcome to the Mentors Show. We have our guest AY Rama still in the house. You mentioned about in fulfilling purpose, in doing whatever, there's a reason for one to understand one's calling. You said that since you discovered that very early in life. And ladies and gentlemen, it means for you to make a mark, for you to make an impact, you must discover what is God's purpose and what is God's calling, or what giftings in you. It is that gifting that will bring you to the limelight. And like our guest told us also, when you are in that gifting, there will be a time it will be as if the whole world is passing you. You are on a slow motion. Everyone are on the fast lane. They are going. And like he said, the bills might not be paid. the bills might not be paid. And other people are paying their bills, and you are thinking, let me jump ship. What is this I'm doing? Let me just forget about this and go and look for something else. But like our guest is telling us, stay on the course. Stay with it. a time will come. Your time will, there's always a process, and he has been able to go through that particular process, in which today he's been able to be on the Experience, which is the biggest gospel project in Africa, 4 times, inspiring people with spoken words. Now, let's go back to the point of, you mentioned the fact that you can be talking to somebody and inspiration will come. And if one listens to all your recordings on YouTube or anywhere, or all your ministrations and everything, how do you come up with the issue of the rhymes? Because now that's your name, AY. You are known as a rhymer. How do you come up with the rhyme?
Okay, thank God. I won't make a repetition of what I've said earlier on, but I would still say, yes, it's God, but I paid attention to the gifting. You can be gifted, but you need dedication and hard work on your giftings. It takes a lot of hard work. Some lines you see me drop in a minute. Some lines like, there's so many people are landlord of the cemetery, Lord, tenant of the mortuary, many more candidate of obituary. It could take me a month to fine-tune before I arrive at that line. And by the time I come out to express it, people, applaud and it blesses people. So the point I'm making is I dedicated myself to this. And when I discovered it early enough, I paid attention. Even when the skill was not paying the bill, I never let it go. I wake up in the middle of the night, God help me, pray to God to help me. You see me writing, fine-tuning. It's not just automatic, but I have to pay attention to it. Of course, it's a gift. I do it naturally, but there is time for polishing. I have to polish and fine-tune. And today, it's better. Just like footballers. Messi, who is one of the best players in the world today, footballer, will not say because he's a good footballer that will not rehearse. You see him going for training. Ronaldo, the same thing. I believe those guys train almost every day if they don't have the match. So likewise, up to now, you still see me sometimes. If I don't have any event, maybe wake up in the middle of the night, pick my pen, and begin to write. God, give me inspiration. Begin to fine-tune. And whatever you are dedicated to, definitely you'll be better at it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the point our guest is saying tonight is that irrespective of whatever you think is your calling, irrespective of whatever you think is a gifting of God, there's your responsibility to hone that craft. There's a responsibility to be dedicated. There's a responsibility to learn more about it. There's a responsibility to learn wide. And I think for you, as part of the things for those who is a communicator, you'll be looking at how to, the diction, the pronunciation, how do you convey the message, how do you empathize, how do you ensure that when you are communicating, your body language is communicating, So it means there's a need for you as a person to learn the trade and don't just depend on the fact that it's just a talent. Because if you just depend on talent, there's so far talent can take you without perfection, without excellence. And I assume, if not because you've been able to dedicate yourself to that craft, you wouldn't have been on the Experience 4 times. Because if you messed up the first time, and that is a global in which Pastor Paul Adefrance is an excellent person himself. You just say no, this person is taking. But when you deliver the first time, you feel that this is good, and next time you trust God. So the point you are making to us is dedication and hard work is very, very important. Dedication and hard work is important for us to pivot to the next level. So whatever we want to go to, dedication and hard work is important, and polishing that grip, rehearsing, training, continue, even when you don't have any particular assignment, as it were, a project, you continue thinking and rehearsing and working yourself. Excellent. Wow. That's so great. So great. So now for this show is called Sparking Creativity. And for you as a person who is a creative person, how will you define creativity?
Creativity creativity is an ability to do something unique in an uncommon way, or not in a conventional way. I think I can call that creativity. Your ability to do something in an excellent and an uncommon way, that is creativity.
So an ability to do something in a very unique way that is not conventional. It's not the way people would expect it. What some other people will call out of the box. Doing it in a way different.
Yeah.
In out. Now, we and I don't know. I just felt of asking this question. Welcome, Kosi Beru and Mr. GMC. Welcome, his Mentors Show. Now, having discovered your gifting as a very early child, so did you now, when you were going through school, what course did it now inform the course you studied in school? Did it inform, what your choices?
Okay, thank you. Not really. I achieved two different degrees.
Okay.
University, I did philosophy and religious studies as a degree.
Interesting.
Then after that, I went to Open University to do peace studies and conflict resolution. They didn't really have much to do with my calling, but just that school is good. School will polish you, make you better. Even in the society, beyond just your profession, going to school will help you to relate with people better, to polish your IQ, polish your idea, and make you a better person in the society. I think that is my basic reason of going to school. The gift is there. I paid attention to it personally to get better at what I do professionally. But I needed to go to school so that when other opportunities come, when I'm relating with the society at large, I can do better.
Interesting. Now, it's very interesting that I asked that question and your response, even though you don't see a connection in it, but I see a connection. You might not see the connection in spoken words and what you are doing now, but there's serious connection in those courses. Philosophy on itself. Now, all the Greek and every university you see today is based on the Greek philosophical background. Aristotle, Plato, and all those people also, we can call them spoken words people. They are poets, as it were, in their own time.
Yeah, you're right. Philosophers are poets.
Philosophers are poets. They have their own words. They only use words to convey and to create a picture of the world they see or the world they desire to see. So that is the reason. So you are also a philosopher, even though you didn't connect it. But there is a connection, because for you to read philosophy in school, philosophy is not something easy, because when you are reading all those big things, hermeneutics and all those kind of things, you'll be thinking. There are times you just say, well.
You have to think out of the.
Yeah, it increases your logic,
polishes your
logic, polishes your reasoning. You think wide. It broadens and breaks your barriers, and so it's actually part of the honing of the craft. It's part of the becoming better. Even though the degree helps your carriage, helps your presentation, like you said, in the society, helps your manner of relating with people, help your communication and everything. Yeah, but the foundational thing, if you have a carriage and you don't have anything to convey, there's a serious problem there. So it's and the other one, which I'm even very is passionate with what I do. I'm a researcher at corporate social responsibility, and looking at I study research on the Niger Delta, and looking at peace studies and conflict resolution. Those are critical part of my own research about the peace in the Niger Delta. Why is there peace? Why is there no peace when in a relationship between corporations and organizations? So that is good, and interestingly enough, you might not also see connection with it. your ministry and what you do actually, for a person, for any person going through turmoil or anything, first and foremost, the person might have been having turmoil in themselves. There's conflict, inner conflict, which is greater than when you are fighting with somebody outside, because it's inner conflict that leads people to commit suicide. It's inner conflict, not being able to reconcile what people know them for and who they are as a person inside, is what causes those suicide, causes sicknesses and things. And when you speak your words, it brings peace, it brings perspective, it makes them to see, like the person you talk about healing, the person just got an eureka moment. God intervened based on what you have said, and through that, God brought healing and deliverance. So I beg to conclude and say that those 2 degrees or those 2 academic prowess were informed by your choice, even though you didn't connect them together. I will say that it's important, and they are paying more.
Actually, thank you so much. There's still part of me in the future that God has revealed to me that I've not started. I will end up being a minister, a general overseer.
Interesting.
So God is preparing me. One of the reasons I did that peace studies and conflict resolution is because of where God showed me that it's taking
the future.
So for now, it goes beyond just this spoken word. So I said that based on this, our interview on spoken word, but I know I have a ministry very big and large, and very soon I'm going fully into movie production. It's a very large ministry. At the moment, I'm doing a course with New York Film Academy. I just applied, so I want to study so that we promote gospel entertainment at large, just beyond just spoken word, but everything that has to do with gospel entertainment, movies, production, and the rest. So those are part of me that God is just unveiling.
Interesting. And it's very interesting that and even though I don't do this with other guests, but somehow it came to my mind now. Listening to your tracks before this show, I saw that God did something and brought somebody into your life, that the person is ministering together with you. I was wondering, who is this person? Then when I look at the picture, I say, no, this person, is he? So tell us.
Thank God for God, he's the one that knows the end of the matter right from the beginning. My wife is also into gospel entertainment. She sings professionally. She's a recorded gospel artist. There's a popular song that people know. I want to say thank you, Lord. I want to say Chukwu Amaka. I want to say Chukwu Amaka. That is a song.
Wow.
That is a song. So that is one of our tracks. So she's a gospel. I mean, so sometimes we do a collab, spoken word music, and
which is excellent, isn't it? It makes it more robust. When the Bible says that one shall chase 1,000 and two will chase 10,000, it makes it robust. And looking at both of you ministering together, I think it's just marvelous. God is actually is a matchmaker indeed. Interesting. Now, have you gone through any challenges in life?
Doctor, no glory without story. No promotion without examination. No testimony without a test. In other words, testimony without a test will be tasteless, I've gone through it, especially in this ministry. Let me remain on this topic. What I do, I said it earlier on, is not well celebrated yet in Nigeria, spoken word. Even when I started a long time ago, it's even getting better now. Then it was like I've gone to them when I was going on after university. After my first degree in 2012, I relocated to Port Harcourt in Nigeria 2013 to start this fully. I started what I'm doing now fully 2013 in Port Harcourt. And I said that's 2003, sorry. But when you go to some places to minister, they will tell you, what do you do? You say recitation. Then I've not even really covered that spoken word.
The spoken word is not known as spoken word.
So some person will tell you, this this program is for adults, it's not for children. We don't those are the things I've gone through. And sometimes I would trek there, I would trek back home. It's like sometimes I would wake God. Why am I doing that? I have my certificate. Should I say no? I called into the I thank God arrested me officially at tender age, 1990, as being born again. And not just being born into Christian family now. Born again in code. I was arrested at a very tender age. So I came to know God early enough. So when I was growing on this, sometimes I would cry. But because of my relationship with God, He keep telling me, this is what I've called you into. But the thing, they bring money.
It's not paying the bills.
But I just thank God saw me through. It was tough. That is the truth. It was tough. I even had some friends that called me failure then. Good friends. When I mean good friends, to them, this guy, you are not serious.
You're not going to waste time.
Out of love, or not out of hatred. Because they love me, they say, boy, pick your certificate. But I said, this is what God asked me to be doing. To them, it don't really make sense. So it was actually tough, but I thank God I kept at it. And today, to be sincere, all of them came back. They are even proud. Some of them will just call me, hey, we are watching your video now. I told them I know you. They say it's like, talk with my friend. Many of them are now proud of me. Those kind of things. But it was tough. It was tough. The passage was tough, but thank God to no glory, like the popular say, no glory without story. I had my story. It was like if I was wasting my time when I started, because one, spoken word is not celebrated well where I am in my environment in Nigeria. But I thank God today I kept at it. And I wouldn't know if that is part of your question. I had an interview like this. Pardon me if I'm going ahead of you. And somebody asked me, what is the greatest achievement I've made in this ministry? And I said, seeing young boys and girls doing what I'm doing. I have over 100 mentees. When I mean close mentees,
interesting. 100 mentees.
Doing spoken word like this, and almost all of them, the 100 that I have, will tell me that, sir, you inspire me to this. And they are making their impact. They are also going to programs, blessing lives, pastor giving them honor. Some of them are also doing it full timely. So my greatest achievement that God used me to help some young people to discover their purpose. Just like in Nigeria, Ali Baba is like the pioneer of comedy officially in Nigeria. So when you talk about gospel spoken word in Nigeria, without any atom of pride, I think many people are. So that alone, I think, is my greatest achievement.
Interesting.
That we're able to impact lives, impact young ones to discover their purpose and the rest. And to be sincere, I thank God I didn't quit. I get that.
Interesting. And that is very, very, very interesting. At least mentioning that aspect of greatest challenges, having mentors, mentees, as it were. And like what we see on this show is Africa Coaching and Mentorship Initiative is helping to mentor people, inspiring the young ones and helping them across Africa. And have you, is there a place for, and the reason I'm asking this question is because of, while you have done some ministrations outside of Nigeria, to looking at it, to how your plans particularly to Africa. I know, is it Tumelo, the one that spoke on the experience on Friday, the lady that spoke, the one lady from South Africa. You are both in the same kind of spoken word ministration and things like that. So, is there a place for spoken word people to collaborate?
Okay, that is a reasonable question you ask. And sincerely speaking, personally, it's part of my passion. If you remember, if you don't mind my repetition, I said the spoken word is not yet well accepted in Nigeria. That's It's just speaking. It's just speaking. So many people see it as it's not yet there. Music is there. Everybody is running to music because music can easily give you fame, give you money. Comedy is there. Comedy can easily give you fame, give you money. But spoken word, people don't really, they are yet to really embrace it. And so few of us that are still doing it, we are still trying to trusting God for that grace. And that's why I thank God for my own life. But we are still trying to collaborate. We are working towards that. And I'm doing everything passionately. Why I started Career Connect, my information initiative, the NGO I started, is also to see how to discover some of these young talent. I'm hoping to start a record label, gospel record label. I'm working towards that, where I could help some of these young talent, especially spoken word artists, to push them to the limelight. The attention the public is giving to music, the attention the public, even the church, the attention they are giving to music and comedy, we don't have half of it in spoken word. That is the truth. We thank God for Pastor Paul Adefarasi. But the question is, how many big pastors do such big program and bring a spoken word artist? That is the challenge. I thank God for the platform I've encountered. I'm minister in the camp, Redemption Camp. But the question is, how many spoken word artists like me have been given such opportunity? Not because they are not good, not because they are not blessed, like, but the society is yet to see,
to accept it.
to accept it, yeah. So sometimes when they want to do program, they just do for musicians.
And perhaps maybe I might also be guilty of this. Perhaps maybe they are looking at what will bring crowd.
No, you are right. You are right. I agree with you. That's why I said it's a challenge to us, and to be sincere. And I feel the pains of some of the young poets, young spoken word artists, because it was tough when I was growing up. Like I said, it was tough. It was tough. But I thank God at the end. Now the skill is paying the bill. I can repeat it perfectly. But it's just that I'm still praying to God to take us there. Some of my colleagues that are into music, some of my colleagues are into comedy. When we started, like I told you, I started early enough. Some of them today, you hear of Frank Edward, you hear of this. Some of these guys are even my junior colleagues. When I talk about entertainment, but because music beats very fast, before you know what is happening, they are everywhere. You see their followers. You see. But you spoken word, if not because I've seen it as a ministry, sincerely speaking, I could have. Then the little part God has been able to use me to make, I just know this is what God has called me to. But I pray, and I'm using this platform to play to the public. Spoken word is thick, is rich enough, but I don't know why this part of the God, I got to know in South Africa, in some western part of the world, is well celebrated. In America, if you are good at what you do, it's well celebrated. But in Nigeria, we are still trusting God for that general acceptance.
Interesting. And permit me to add in this issue of just like we were talking about acceptability in Africa or in Nigeria, and looking at the issue of how people accept music. Music is also evolving. Music also, the type of music in that time when you started 2003 is not the same type of music that is now. So is it that perhaps even the spoken word and the way it is, maybe it's going through an evolution in which it needs to pivot to the next level to have an element of internationalization that will make it acceptable? Could that be a possibility?
Okay, that is part of it, and permit me to say this. As an artist, either a musician, a comedian, a spoken word artist, you can't really promote yourself. You need a promoter, an investor, a record label. You understand? Some of these musicians, you see one big boy somewhere who just start a record label, and he's there to promote them, uses his money to push them. Comedy also, some people are signing comedians now. You see what is it, but in spoken word, we are still praying to God for that. Yes, it's evolving, but the pace is
not fast enough.
With music. We've not really seen somebody who believes so much in poetry or spoken word that will say, okay, I want to invest millions of naira to put these people, I want to sign you as a spoken word artist, I want to do this. And that is one of the challenges we spoken word artists are facing. It's like everybody is doing it with his own strength. They thank God for the grace of God, but and sometimes no man can really go very far without the help of somebody. You need to climb on the shoulder of somebody, those who are ahead of you. So it's still like a challenge to some of us. But we know ourselves really as spoken word artists, and everybody is kind of trying to, because the society they are not looking towards that direction yet. That is a musician like this, once you are good, we have lots of record label that can easily sign you, pump money into you. Glo can sign you as an ambassador, and when you have money is the bicycle of the gospel. When there is money, you can use money to grow your YouTube channel, grow whatever you want to do, travel abroad, do whatever, investors in this industry for now. It's a kind of slowing down the speed. But we thank God for what some of us are doing, because we believe it's a gift God has given to us to impact our society, to impact our generation. We are doing it our own little way. And thank God for what God is doing.
Thank God, thank God. Welcome, Mrs. Mary Ajide, that's my wife. Welcome, Oluwafumlayo, 6101. Welcome. It's the Mentors Show. We see our guests telling us about the challenge of the spoken word industry, as it were, or ministry, as it were, of not having enough people investing in this, and how it can go to more of internationalization. So maybe perhaps what I would suggest to that is that perhaps you might need, even though you have a plan, is that perhaps you might come up with a concept and speak to people. Because if you have a concept, if you speak to people like God has given it to Pastor Paul Adefarasi, is a man that I know that he can use his wherewithal and his good offices, even though if he doesn't bring anything, he just call people to bring those things to fruition. But he must present something before him, or people that God will not. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying him, but at least people that God will put in your heart, because it's God that called you, not them.
So, I understand you are really making sense. And if you remember a few minutes ago, I told you that just about going to New York Film Academy.
Yes.
Not to go and play, but because I want to also learn more. I want to improve on my own creativity. I want to learn more professionalism. So by the time I come back and I'm talking to investors, some of them want to know, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
So I'm not talking. I won't be talking to them just as an artist, or as somebody wants to hold a record label to promote. So that is part of my game, and that is why you see me trying to upgrade myself, trying to learn more, so that by the time I come back, because what I went through, I don't want those who are coming up to go through. And I believe that is one of the reasons God called me to this ministry, because God is not a waster. God created that gift, He created that ability, and He needs somebody to really help others grow. And I believe He has called me to that. That is why I open up to you. I'm upgrading myself. I'm learning more, going to school, even as far as New York Film Academy, to upgrade myself, and so that I'll be able to lift those who are still struggling, so that I'll be able to promote this spoken word industry. It's my life, it's my ministry, and I'm going to do it.
Interesting. One can pretty much say God is the first spoken words artist. In the beginning, He said, God said, let there be. So He spoke. So He's the one that is the first person that is a spoken word artist. He spoke. And based on what He said, it brought impact to His environment. Just like what you are saying also is bringing change and impact to the lives of people, to their circumstances, to their situation, and all things like that. So it's very, it's very, very encouraging to see that the great works are that you are doing, and I think it's very much interesting when you mention the fact that which you have answered what my question would have been about your corporate social responsibility, what you are doing as a gospel, as a spoken word artist. Are you still there with us? Maybe your internet. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are still looking with our guest, Mr. Ayo Adebayo, the AYD Rhymer, who is telling us the great things that he's been doing and the opportunity of having been ministered 4 times on the experience, and about the possibility of challenges that he has overcome, and the fact of how he has honed his skills, the place of discipline, the place of persistence, the place of yeah. You are with us. You are welcome. So the place of discipline, this place of holy polishing the gift, the place of continual, you are back. Welcome. Yeah. So the place is telling us about the continual place of owning your skill, and that for anybody that wants to be successful in life, there's always a process, and you must go through. He has told us some of the process he has gone through, but the good thing is that today he's been using his own influence, making impact in his community, and mentoring 100 people. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on this show watching us live or you watching this replay of this, the point we are saying on this show is that you too can make impact in your community. You too can mentor people. You too can inspire people. And you too can move to the next level of making positive impact in the lives of people all around you. And I think that is very, 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 very important. I guess the internet from your end, the internet from your end. So it's important that we as people, we are back now. You are back now. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So welcome. So it's and I think that's pretty much what it is. Okay, you are still there. Okay, great. So that's pretty much what it is, that there's a point for us to continue to, put opportunities of mentoring other people. It's very, very, very important. So I would like to end by saying what your last words to us, sir. How would you advise someone who want to pivot to the next level? What would you advise someone, the way you have been able to, overcome in your own particular sphere? How would you advise someone who want to move to the next level, maybe in their career? Because now, even interesting enough, you have this career connect, helping to bridge people with their creativity and their career. How would you advise someone who seems to be like in a standstill in a place and want to move to the next level, want to pivot to the next level? What would be your advice to such a person? Can you hear me, sir? The internet is well, the internet is not so can you hear me?
Thank you for that. First of all, the first thing I will tell you, there is always a devil.
There's always a the internet is
You will never be frustrated. The glory of the latter definitely is greater.
we didn't hear the first thing you said because the internet has been.
There's always a devil.
There's always a devil. Okay.
Okay, I think
For every the internet is seriously.
Meaning there is no glory without story.
Okay, there's no glory. Okay, all right.
For every next level, there's always a devil.
Oh, okay, yeah. For every next level, there's always a devil.
Next level, there's always a devil. But the good news, but the good news is persistence, weakening resistance. So just keep at it. As long as you are convinced that you are in the will of God for your life, for your destiny, as long as you are convinced that you are doing the right thing that God has called you to do, just keep at it. It will pay at the end. The glory of the latter will be greater than the former. And it will permit me to quote the script.
Yeah.
You said the vision is here for an appointed time, and the end shall speak. Even when Christ himself came to pay the price, he encountered a lot of frustration on the road. He was hungry. He had betrayal. But at the end, God provided. So there's always a time to pay the price. Just be God's purpose for your life and keep glorify himself in your life. Don't sure you are go with.
Interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is telling us that for every next level there's a devil, but the place of persistence is important for you to be able to break the resistance and pivot to the next level, and know that there's a vision, and if there's a vision that is for an appointed time, there is a need for you to walk towards that particular vision. Like our guest has told us about how for him, for his vision of having a school, a film school, is going to the New York Academy. Yes, for the next level, there's always a devil, and that so, and I think that's important. And we would like to end on this note. We want you to rhyme something to minister to us.
Okay. I will just tell you that let's thank God for God. Instead of complaining about your situation, why not see men is struggling to be in your position? Even if you cannot thank God for what He delivered to you as provision, why not thank Him for what He delivered you from as protection? I mean, those testimonies that far beyond human comprehension. Remember, when enemies wanted you in great lamentation, God stepped in His divine intervention. And don't forget, when you worship Alpha, you will go far. When you praise Omega, you will go Mega. When you are thankful, your tank will be full. Don't give up on God. Your help may not come from abroad, but surely from above. Because it's not by merit, but by mercy. It's not by class, but by Christ. It's not based on government policies, but God's promises. Not even by university degree, but God's decree. He that can recharge you without charging you with any charge. He can give you more power than Jack Power in 24 hours to rise above any tower. For there is no lie so beaten, battered, shattered, or scattered that our God cannot gather and put together. Don't give up on God, He won't give up on you.
Hallelujah. Great. Wow. Thank you so much. So there's no life so scattered that God cannot gather. So He is and put together. Wow. Interesting. Thank you so much for coming on the Mentor Show. We know our guests, our audience have been inspired, and those that watch this replay would also definitely be inspired. Thank you so much, sir. We are really grateful, and we see you going for higher. And we hope, part of the things for those who have come on this show, we also look at in the future opportunity of us doing something together with yourself. We see that coming by the grace of God. So thank you so much, sir. God bless you for coming on the show. We really we are inspired. We are energized to go forward. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. God bless you. All right, bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wow. It's just been wonderful. Our guest has really inspired us tonight, and he's been able to drop a lot of nuggets that we can use to pivot and go to the next level. And like he said, if you want to move to the next level and it seems that there is seemingly no way in, don't give up. For every persistence, it says persistence weakens resistance. Yes, persistence weakens resistance. If you continue to persist in that which you want to go, it says it will break resistance, and you'll be able to go to the next level that you want to go. You'll be able to get the strategy to move to the next level. So thank you very much, Olanike, for still being with us till now. Thank you, Professor Rhymes, for coming. Thank you for all the people that have been on the show, that have come. I want to thank you very much for being with us. It's a wonderful time again. On Friday, by the grace of God, we have another guest, a lady who is doing great things, an entrepreneur who is doing great things, who is mentoring women, helping women in businesses, and is doing wonderful things. So on Friday, you will see, through the flyer, you will see our guest on Friday who is doing great things, a wonderful woman who is doing marvelous things. And I guess you are going to be inspired from her story. Join us on Friday, by the grace of God, Friday the 18th at 7:15. Don't forget, we've changed our time from 7 to 7:15. And that will be 7:15 GMT, 8:15 West Africa time. That will be 2:15 EDT in New York, and that will be 9:15 in South Africa. Thank you very much. Invite family and friends, and we'll see you again on Friday. Bye.